Okay, guys, we are going to work on MD2 for this one. And MD2, I like MD2. It's a little bit more work. It definitely has multi-steps when you consider the different math parts. But I like working with, adding and dividing fractions, so I enjoy this one. So let's look at line plots. Line plots are not hard. You have a little bit of a background with line plots. The big piece with line plots is making sure that the denominators are all in the same RAM. Now, they don't give you the denominators, but they might throw you off later. So the first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to label your line plots, because you'll notice you don't have numbers here, so you have to figure out what that is. Where these are in groups of 1, 2, 3, 4. They are broken into it's broken into 4 groups. So this is going to be 8 and 1/4. That would be 8 and a half, 8 and 3/4, 9, 9 and 1/4, 9 and a half, or you could do 9 and 2/4. If you want to keep the same denominator, you can use 9 and 2/4. And then this one's going to be 9 and 3/4. Some will start off very basic. Some will make sure, we're going to talk about this, and we're also going to talk about how to solve when it's not just looking at the thing and giving an answer, because that's definitely not the standard. But we're going to start off very basic with answering these questions. Okay, how many pieces of string measure 9 and 3/4 inches? And so type in your answer to Edpuzzle. Okay, and if you put all of the pieces of string together and what will be the total length of pieces, this is basically what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about my whole number is 7. I'm talking about 8 and 1/4 plus 8 and 1/4. And here's the reason I have to add these two. It's talking about all of the pieces, and there are 2 8 and 1/4. So you'll see that's why I have 2 8 and 1/4 here. I'll have 9 because I have 1 9. Now, the reason I'm not going to do 9 and a half, because I'm going to have to change it to the common denominator. I might as well change it already to the common denominator. So I'm going to say 9 and 2/4. I have one of those, and then I have 3 9 and 3/9. 9 and 3, sorry, not ninths. You know what I meant. 9 and 3/4. And I have 3 of those. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore all my whole numbers first. That's the last thing I'm going to work with. I'm not worried about my whole numbers at this point. What I want you to do is I want you to find the fractions. So you have 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 2/4. Well, what do you notice about 1/4, 1/4, and 2/4? They equal a whole. So this is another whole number here. So I'm going to add the 1 right here. And then I have 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. Well, would they have a common denominator? So 4 is going to be on the bottom number. And I have 3, 6, 9. And then what I'm also going to do over here is, because we're working with the addition aspect of it, I'm going to leave it as an improper for right now, because I want you to see something. Now I'm going to add 7 plus 8, which equals 15. And then I'm going to add another 8. 15 plus 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23, I'm going to write the word 23 over here. Now, I could add 23 plus 9 and then get a number, and then add 9 and then get another number. But here's what I'm going to do. 23 is the 7 plus 8 plus 8, right? And I have how many 9s? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 9s. And because I have 5 9s, I'm going to do 9 times 5, which gets me 45, and I'm going to add those two together. Is this doing 9 times 5 was easier for me? If it's easier for you to do 23 plus 9, get a number plus 9, then do it. I'm taking the shortcut out here, way out a little bit, because I know my multiplication. Now, I got 68 wholes. So now I'm back to this original observation right here. And I can add my whole numbers, right? 68 plus 1 equals 69 and 9/4. What do you notice about 9/4? It's an improper fraction, right? How many 4s can go into 9? 2 whole numbers, right? 2 whole fractions with 1 left over, giving you 2 and 1/4. But you can't forget your whole number. So you have to add your whole number plus your 2.5. And if you'll take a moment and you'll type in your whole number onto your Edpuzzle or your whole number, your mixed number, I should say, your mixed number, your final answer when you add those two together. Okay? Same thing here. The line plot below shows the amount of cups in 8 containers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to figure out what my numbers are. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, there are 4. So this is going to be 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and I'm going to stop there because there's nothing above here. So I don't even have to worry about labeling that because there's nothing there. And if you put all of the water inside a large container, what would be the total amount of water in the cups? So basically what you're going to do is you're going to do 1/4 plus 1/4, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 of them, plus 1/4, plus 1/4, plus 1/4, plus 2/4, plus 2/4, and then plus, over here, 3/4. Now, if you'll see what I'm going to do. You don't have to do it this way, but I'm going to group them. I know that 3/4 plus 1/4 equals 4/4, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to add, my bottom number is going to be 4, right? My bottom number doesn't change. So I'm just going to add my top number, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I get 12 over 4, which is equivalent to, type in the answer, 3. How many more containers have 1/4 of a cup than 1/2 of a cup of water? So some of these questions are going to be really easy, and some of them you're going to have to add the multiply or divide with these fractions. How many more containers have 1/4 than 1/2? Well, you have 5 containers up here, and you have 2 containers. How many more? It's a simple observation, really easy. Type in the answer. Okay? Andy recorded how many miles he ran each day. The below is the table made. Use the data to make a line plot. On the EOG, you're never going to have to make a line plot because they cannot see your line plot. But they might give you tablets like this and then have you add them up. So I'm going to make my line plot because it's just easier for me to show you. Once again, these are in fourths. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And you'll notice that your halves are really 2/4. Okay, so my first one is 2.5. So I'm going to come over to 2.5 and I'm going to put an X. I'm going to go to 3 3/4 and I'm going to put an X. 1 1/4, I'm going to put an X. 3.5, I'm going to put an X. 3 1/4, I'm going to put an X. 2.5, I'm going to put an X. And 3 3/4, I'm going to put an X. So when you'll notice that yours is, it should look similar to what I have here when you're looking at these. So take a moment. If you need to pause me, go ahead and pause me. And let's look at the bottom part. It says, what's the total distance that Andy ran in 7 days? They're all in common denominators if you've done it here. I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to change this to 2/4. And I'm going to change this one to 2/4. And this one up to here to 2/4. So when I go to add them, it's so much easier. I am going to do this. I'm going to do 2 2/4. Plus 3 3/4. Plus 1 1/4. Plus 3 2/4. Plus 3 1/4, plus 2 2/4, plus 3 3/4. They all have common denominator, right? So because they all have a common denominator, this makes it 10 times easier. Ignore your whole numbers. Don't worry about your whole numbers. Actually, I take that back. I want you to do your whole numbers first, and I want you to worry about your fractions. So what I'm going to do is you're going to pick up with me on your Edpuzzle here, and you're going to type in your total number of whole number, please.